What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Soul the Kid. This is a little different than my regular videos. I've been wanting to try like story time fonts for a while, like Young Dun Sauce God or Devontae the One type videos. I guess I just needed like something crazy to happen to like actually be inspired to do one. I am gonna list this one as a part 2 video because if this gets a lot of engagement, I'll make a part 1. With that being said, this one isn't like greatly animated or anything. I kinda rushed it because this like just happened a week and 2 days ago to be exact. For context, I got dumped on the first of the year, so I've kinda just been on Tinder, on and off a few times. But I guess that's a story for another day. So anyway, it was about 3 weeks back, and I matched with this girl who I was going to keep her name secret. After the aftermath of this story, I don't care anymore. Her name was Michaela, she's 23, I'm 24, and I'm going to skip forward because I'll cover the rest in a part 1 if this gets traction or whatever. So this is our second meetup at a bar known as the Fat Cat. And I really hope this video gets traction because part 1 would be so funny. Because both of these took place at the exact same place, the Fat Cat Bar, which is the first bar I've ever been to like on my own. And that's kind of a key part to the story too. So it's located in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I really can't say if it was a bad or good bar. I really don't know. And they do like weekly themes or whatever. So the theme for this one would be Hattiesburg World or whatever. I really don't know what it was. I still don't understand what it was even after going to it. And from the text, you'd think Shawty was feeling me, but I really couldn't tell after this. And I should clarify by saying that when I first got on Tinder, I was in the DTF mindset, but I was also with the respecting whatever the person I had matched with wanted to do. Safe to say that didn't happen though. The most that happened between us was like 3 kisses, like bare naked kisses, like nothing crazy. Now over the course of the 3 weeks, she was giving off like little minor red flags, like not instantly responding to texts and all that, you know. But it got better, so that wasn't really a problem anymore. And for the other time we were there, she had 2 friends that came with her. We'll just call them Ellie and Meg. The text will show their full names, but I'm not just gonna say it. Anyway, she was claiming that one of them might not show up, but I wasn't gonna be bothered by that. But that problem solved itself anyway because the other one ended up showing. Or she let me know she'd be there like the day before. So that problem was already solved. So another thing that came up though that was problematic to me is that whenever they like bring it up and the time they want to get there, I'd always get there earlier, like at least 30 minutes earlier, when they would give me an exact time, which was also pretty strange. So I get there at 6:20, no word from them for like a whole 30 or whatever. So I pulled in a lot, something I didn't do last time. I parked at the tire shop that was like right next to it because I had never been there before. And I had parked like really weird on the side, so I was like self-conscious about it. So I was thinking if I didn't move, somebody was probably gonna think I sucked at driving or something. So then I moved and parked the other way. Which is crazy because after I did that, somebody else parked exactly where I just was, like immediately after. So after that, about 30 minutes passed, so it's finally 7 o'clock. And then they text me here. And I just say same, kind of like passive aggressive, because I'm already knowing that they were definitely there before they sent this text, like at least 15 minutes, because they did the same thing the last time. Because there's a long line and they get dropped off because they drunk before they get there. Because waiting in the line gives me anxiety. Being just alone in that setting gives me anxiety because like I've never been there like that. I'm not familiar with it like that. Which last time, yet she still proceeded to do the same things. Anyway, I got past it, I walked in, and they're like sitting at the bar or whatever. Michaela's all the way to the right at the last spot. She's talking to Allie on the left, and Megan is talking to someone else on the far left, so she's not really paying attention. And I'm pretty sure Allie greeted me first, and then Michaela was just kind of like awkwardly saying, "So you're just in the car waiting the whole time?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, and to describe them, they all look kind of similar, which is understandable because Allie and Meg were cousins, but they were all kind of like not fat, but they had like a little plump to them, which wasn't like unattractive or anything. It was like appealing. And the overall attire of this bar usually is like alt or gothic, like alternating between those on the average. Now, they weren't unattractive physically, but their personalities were kind of weird. Like, you could tell they were kind of just off ish. Because Allie was kind of like a loud, assertive person that I couldn't really see myself being friends with outside of this. And they just kind of go with it. Like, she has to be the center of attention and she has to be right no matter, even if she does something wrong. Like, she's the victim regardless. And Meg was like a miniature version of that. And Michaela was kind of like, she felt kind of groupie-ish. Like, she just was there to be there, but would still side with him. And this is over the course of like just hearing what they've talked about and stuff like that. I'm a quiet person, so I really wasn't like engaging in conversation at all. But that was the way I was moving, like on the first part too. So it wasn't new or out of pocket for me to be like that. And to describe the bar, it's kind of like the front right ish. There's a couch little section like at the entrance, which is a little to the left of this. I didn't feel like animating it though. And so after like 10 minutes, they decided to migrate to the back where they're like actively performing with bands this time around. And Meg didn't follow because she was still talking to someone at this point. So we enter here, the crowd's in the middle, and then the stage. There's one stage to the right, then there's one closer to the front. And we were in the middle, but behind the crowd when Meg eventually came in through the second entrance, which was at the back. So basically, it was like a flipped bar. So just think the front is the back is the front, except the back doesn't have a couch. It's like two stages. And it just occurred to me that I said this in the wrong order. This didn't happen yet. So the bands and stuff weren't ready yet in the back, so we had to turn around. And they decided to go outside. But before that, they stopped by a bathroom. And they weren't like signaling, so they just went in, and I almost went in. Because I didn't even know this place had bathrooms. And then this was like a girl's bathroom, so like I had to stop myself, which was also kind of a red flag. Because, I feel like people would tell you stuff like that, but they were moving kind of different. But they were kind of moving like this on the last time I was there, so I didn't think nothing of it at first. So anyway, they go outside. They brought another person with them, like a random guy that I guess Allie was cool with, to do carts. I think I don't really know, bro. I'm not into narcotics, so I really don't know, and I don't take part like at all. I was just there, kind of just trying to feel vibes with Michaela, which was weird because she didn't seem as excited as she was claiming to be. Because we didn't even make physical contact, except for like this one instance that was right during this, where she was showing me like scratches on her hand because she was trying to like catch her cats because she lost them at some point. And anyway, I wasn't holding long enough to like make it weird or anything, but that was the only physical contact that happened at all. And keep in mind, Allie was like getting Meg to load the cart, but she was basically just talking to that guy on the far right of us, and she wasn't really there. And then while Allie's been, Michaela's telling me, like, yeah, I don't know nothing about these people she's talking to. I kind of just know her from college or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I see. And then Allie's like, oh, we gotta go back in. There's a guy who's like starting that they need to see first on the band or whatever, which wasn't even the guy who started, by the way. So they barely even got that card started or whatever before we like rushed back inside to enter, and we go back to the back. And there's this one band that starts off, not the band she was expecting or whatever. So then Allie and Meg come in right after us. Her and Allie just like walk off, and then Meg's like looking at me for a second because she's like, "What's going on?" or whatever. But she just stays there, and we're just like watching the band or whatever for like 2 minutes or so. And I guess they went to go get drinks because they came back with like one cup of, I think it was Long Island tea, both of them. And that's kind of when the weirdness started to seep in more and more. So then once she's back, she's like within range of me, but she's like kind of just moving around, like away from me, but like not noticeably hard or anything, but enough that I saw. So I tried to just watch the band play and listen, but like, no offense to them, I could only hear the instruments, like the notes. I couldn't hear what the actual vocalist was saying. So yeah, picture this as what you're hearing. So after they finish, they dash like back to the front bar on the other side, like real fast, like running. And earlier on, Michaela was like, she's anxious because not enough people are here. And I already thought that was a red flag in its own way. Like, how do you get anxious from a lack of people? So they sit here and do that routine again for about 5 minutes. So then they go back to the back because apparently the guy who she was waiting on to perform is performing now. So the next guy who performs, like, he's just a soloist. Like, he doesn't have instruments. He has an instrumental playing in the background. I couldn't hear a word he said. It was horrible. No hate to the club sound, but I couldn't understand a singular word. And the whole time I'm trying to like stay by Michaela, but she's just steady moving. And right after that guy performs, guess what they do? They hit the dash again, outside again, to hit their cars again. And I'm just like chasing by. And this time around they bump into someone else that Allie knows, of course. But this time she's in the cart rotation. And she offers me a hit. And I didn't know she was talking to me first, but Michaela didn't skip a beat and was like, nah, you didn't smoke. And I really appreciated that, but she was still like moving away from me still. So I was like, oh, whatever. And here's where the story completely shifts. So after they do their carts, they evacuate to the outside lot, like right in front of the Fat Cat, in those little chair sections, the booths. That's where we sit. And I get kind of tired because they're moving around a lot, so I kind of just like close my eyes for a second, but I'm not asleep or anything. And when I say it wasn't even long, it wasn't. Like, it wasn't even 5 minutes, and they weren't talking about anything, so that made it all the worse. And then they just like got up during the time that my eyes were closed and moved before I could realize it, so I couldn't catch them. And there were like so many people outside, so I couldn't move. I was frozen with anxiety, bro. Like, it started cooking me bad. Like, I was sitting there for a good hour, whole time texting my friend like, bro. And he is like, did you get ditched or whatever? I'm like, nah, they got a ride here, so they definitely didn't leave yet. He was like, alright. And he was honestly keeping me from like crashing into anxiety like completely. But then after like advice, he was like, just go ahead and leave. But then I was like, I'm gonna at least see. So I'm like looking at her story, and she's like posting this black dude that was performing, I guess. And that's when it hit me, like, if she can do that, she could have at least like texted me or something, or looked for me or something. Then outside, I cleared out more, so I actually got the courage to go back inside. And when I go inside, I see her and Allie sitting on the couch right by the door. And I'm low-key like seething in my head, but I just sit beside Allie because Allie's in the middle and Michaela's on like the far left side. And I know it would have been weird to like try to squeeze between them. Plus, Michaela kind of looked like she was trying to avoid me, like she was shocked that I was still there. And Allie spoke to me again, but I could still tell she was kind of shocked that I was still there too. So I'm like really confused. They were real life trying to ditch me. And then as I sit down, like for 2 minutes, Megan comes. Then they all get up, rush to the bathroom. I follow, and then I realize the bathroom again. And then this bathroom is steady packed. Like people keep going in and going in. But I'm noticing that like sometimes the door would peep open as if somebody's like looking on the outside. I'm like, bro, they're definitely peeping to see if I'm still here. And then I'm like also peeping that they're taking selfies in the bathroom because they later posted them. Like Michaela posted one on her Tinder after this. So then after 20 minutes, they like all bust out of there and go different directions. Michaela goes to the back room, so I obviously follow that. But she's like looking at like running in place but not running, you know. And then like once she's all the way in the back, Allie comes in and grabs her from the back. They go to the front corner, still in the same room though, in the front corner, and just like kind of just start walking around, like swarming around. And Megan comes in and does the same thing. And then I'm like tired of this, so I'm about to go ask Michaela what's about to happen. But then as I'm about to do that, Allie comes to me and is like, look, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I haven't been able to hang out with girls for some months now, so please don't take it personally. I just wanted to hang out with Michaela and them, like just girl to girl. And I got the gist before she got the words out, so I was trying to leave before she even finished. But she was like stopping me, and she was like, please don't take it personally. And I'm just like, cool, gave her a thumbs up, and I just like leave. So I'm like updating my bro as I'm leaving. And I also did one more thing that I think was stupid. I texted this girl an apology. Like, I did something wrong, bro. I feel like I'm the victim here, bro. Actually, I am a victim, bro. Like, I don't even care. Like, and seeing this message just makes me mad every time because not only did I not get a reply, she still has me on Snap, has me on Instagram, has me on her close friends for both. But fortunately, I have like amazing friends, bro. Cause like I told them and they was right on it. Like they they was mad for me. Like I wasn't sweating it at the moment. Like I was just chilling because whatever stuff happens. Fazo specifically, bro. Fazo had me dying, bro. Because bro was livid. He was mad. But it's funny to look back at all these messages she shared. Like, she wouldn't let me do this or that. And then she ends up doing that, bro. Like, what? And then I tripled down because I text her again on Tinder to where I see she's updated her bio from just seeing what's happening to I've given up on love. I just want more followers on Instagram. Like, what? With the updated picture. So I asked her yesterday what had happened. Straight up unmatched. But she still had me on Insta and still had me on Snap. So then I text her. So this is the third time, bro. Like, what was I doing? Like, bro, I went out sad. I don't even know why I did this to myself. And each time I was seeing her post like cryptic stuff on her story, it made it look like she was like, be patient with me, stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. Man. So yeah, thanks, Michaela, for giving me the inspiration to actually make a story time video. Hope you found your cats, and I hope you can eventually let people know why you just ghost them or whatever. And I guess for a moral of the story, just if you get on Tinder, bro, Be very clear what you want. Don't change your views or anything. Just change who you swipe on. Cause no way. And if y'all like this, just give it a thumbs up or whatever. I might do more. This one's rough because this just happened and I didn't feel like animating all of it, and I kept getting caught up in other stuff. So yeah, if you like this, thanks.